Berlin to Pearlberg.
Well, that's why I'm thinking he made some side trips. And
I think he must have.
I think that he thought he was the original James Bond, and he was pulling some kind of shenanigans.
Well, he might have actually been the original James Bond.
Well, he evidently not, because James Bond never gets caught and dies. Okay. James Bond gets caught and lives and gets the lady.
Yeah.
This guy got neither his life nor the lady.
Right.
So.
Well, you don't know
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn you.
He could have disappeared into the sunset with a beautiful new lady.
To our next theory. He ran off to join the circus.
Where was he going to find another lady with as awesome of name? Oh, wait, no, it was his sister. Never mind.
Yeah.
His wife really hit... Yeah, okay, never mind.
No, I mean,
awesome name,
I totally agree with you. I actually think, despite all odds, that a French abduction is, like, the most likely of the theories.
The secret police, Napoleon's secret police were apparently, like, just all over the area.
Yeah.
I mean, and turncoats... I don't want to say anything negative about people who feel like they have to cast their lot in with who is currently in power, but they are negatively referred to a lot as turncoats. That's the phrase. But there are a lot of people who said, you know what? I need to survive. I need to make a living. Tell me what to do. Tell me who to look for. I found one. I took care of it. And those are the people who are going to do the reporting and may have done the deed. And they're always lumped under the umbrella of, oh, well, that was the secret police.
Well, somebody could have ratted him out for a reward too.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? The guy that paid off the dowries. I mean, maybe that's where part of that money came from.
That's true. And it's also, I guess, not totally unlikely to me that somebody hit the guy over the head, stole his coin purse, and then, called the secret police that were hiding out at the sympathizer's house. I mean, it was right across from the post house, which I think was right next to the coffee house, which was right across.
Major thoroughfare.
Yeah,
I mean, they were like real close together. So, the French police could have been hiding out literally next door to where the horse carriage was being, drawn. And you just, slightly bribe the guy who's taking care of the horses to hit the guy over the head. You drag him off.
It's not as if Bathurst knows who the staff is, so they could have literally posed as stablemen.
Right, or the stableman could have
posed as a policeman.
Or just like been the hitman for
perpetrator,
him. Hit him over the head, steal his purse, distribute coin to a couple people who are complicit, and then have the police come drag. As I said originally, the thing about this story is that people.
Not quite
his
like
attendants didn't know he was missing for a freaking hour. Like, that gives so much time for so many things to happen. So for me, I'm happy to say it was the French police.
Quite possibly.
It was that, or the doctor.
But just the doctor, or aliens. But
no, because Napoleon was he was not in a good mood. I can see him giving orders, shoot to kill orders, essentially.
Yeah.
If you find a British on our territory, our newly claimed territory or newly reclaimed territory, because they keep making these stupid coalitions. And again, this is a historical bit. The British had not done him any favors because they had control over the seas. They had the better navy, and the Brits or the French had to do everything on land. That was a huge imposition to them. So he had no love for them. So I can see him just be like, if you find any British, kill them. I don't care. And I'll pay you a fee.
Yeah.
Could have been, or it could have been they hauled him off to Magdeburg prison and just interrogated the crap out of him for a while.
Totally.
And then denied it all.
Yeah.
Well,
their version of Gitmo.
Dropped his coat and somebody picked it up, and that's why they found it.
Yeah. And as far as being killed, he might have just died in prison of disease. I mean, because that happened a lot back in those days.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot. They might not have intended to keep him forever. They might have just said, until the hostilities are done, he's a prisoner of war, and we're going to let him go. And then, oops, he gets typhus, dies.
Whoops.
Yeah, oops.
Yeah.
What's the story I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
That's the one that is so improbable because of the fact that everybody dies in those deplorable conditions.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't. Most people aren't going to last that long.
No.
If you're lucky and you've got a strong immune system, maybe you could hold out for a long time.
But three-quarters of them didn't.
No, a lot
so that's why it could be that he died that way.
Yeah. It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, people outside of prisons in much healthier conditions with better diets died a lot too. So,
totally.
Entirely possible.
Yeah. So
There's so many ways he could have died because it was 1809 and people died like flies in those days.
yeah, I mean, I think French abduction is the most likely. What do you guys think?
Oh, God, I'm having a hard time making up my mind. He was a high-value target in that way, but then again, for a robber or bandit, he was a high-value target too.
There's just
I mean,
like,
this
yeah, I
guy
guess
had
there's
a
like a
target
lot
painted
of
on his
things,
back,
yeah.
you
It
know?
really does. I mean, I can just the descriptions of him being such a worrywart and so nervous. I could almost see this being a situation where he did himself in, and by that I mean nobody else was around. He freaked out. He dropped his jacket. He ran into the woods. He suffers hypothermia because it is November in that area, and he keels over and the animals eat him. And somebody finds his pants later. Like, is that it? No, but it's just like that might as well be brought in because there's just.
There's many possibilities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Napoleon's agents got him,
Yeah.
but
Seems most likely, although the possibility, because he's dressed so nicely and he's got all this expensive stuff, the watch, the coins, the diamond, it seems like robbery, murder is also, very
Yeah.
highly possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Who
think
the hell knows?
no matter what, it wasn't some weird disappearance. I think that
No
it's not
aliens.
UFOs.
no,
Yeah,
but
no UFOs.
I think it's really important that like the records show that Thinking Sideways thinks there was an hour that a lot of stuff could have happened to him, and there's a lot of unaccounted time from his time between Berlin and Pearlberg.
Yep.
I think those are two really important points to bring up when
Yeah.
we talk about this story, that it may not actually be as fantastical and nefarious as everybody thinks.
Oh, I don't think this is nearly as fantastic as is made out in the 3-paragraph post.
Yeah, agreed.
That's the problem, is that this is put up in so many places in such an abbreviated form.
Oh, I know. And he stepped around the nose of the horses, and he was gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
No.
Didn't happen like that.
It didn't.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you want to see some of our links, especially that whole amazing book by Tryphaena Thistlethwaite. That's
Is
how
it
I'm going to say her name.
Tryphaena Thistlethwaite?
Yeah,
Yeah. Something
that's
like
probably the right way.
that. Yeah.
She's from Gryffindor.
I like
Yeah.
Tryphaena Thistlewhistle better, but if you want to see that or any of our other links to research, you can find that information as well as stream the show on our website. The website is thinkingsidewayspodcast.com. You can obviously listen to us there. I think you can download from the website. You can
Yep.
still download from the website.
Yep.
But
It's in the player.
it's pretty likely that you are not doing that. You're probably listening to us on iTunes. If you're doing that, go ahead and give us a subscribe and rate and review if you haven't already. That's how other people find us. You can download and stream from pretty much every server, including Google Play, which is, again, where I found that book. So, like, great resource. Like,
Yay,
overall,
Yeah, I like
Google taking over the world, and we're
Yeah.
happy about it, which is great.
it. We're happy about it now.
I'm happy about it
Thank
forever.
you for Google overlords.
Yes.
All
So
praise the Google.
if your service allows rating and reviews, please go ahead and do that, as well as subscribe. Again, that's how other people who use the same service that you use will find us. If you don't do that, nobody will ever know about us, and then
Ooh,
we'll have
that'd
to
be so
stop
sad.
doing it someday. You can find us on social media. We've got a Facebook group and page. The group is public. The page is public. You
So
can,
you have to request access.
yeah. So like the page, join the group. There's some really great, interesting discussions that happen there almost every day. Actually, more than almost every day. Like
Every day.
a bunch of times every day.
Absolutely.
You can tweet
fun.
at us at Thinkin' Sideways. Please don't try to start a conversation with me there, though, because like 140 characters is not enough.
Well, especially
just
for
not.
really serious conversations.
Yeah.
If you have one little remark to make, it's great.
That's
but,
great.
You know.
Yeah, it's good
I-
for the one-off comments, but
Nothing is better than the comment followed by the response of, please email at, but blah, blah, blah. Please respond at, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I give up.
yeah. No, so you can tweet at us. You can also follow us. Got a good amount of followers so
Yeah.
far. I'm pretty happy with the fact that I can just tweet stupid memes all the time and people are like loving that, so that's great. You can also find us on Reddit. We've got our own subreddit. We're Thinking Sideways, Thinking Sideways, and there's some interesting discussion that happens there as well. You can email us with any kind of feedback, suggestions, general accolades. We're thinkingsidewayspodcast@gmail.com. You can support the show in a number of ways if you would like. You can buy merch, which is shirts, mugs, stickers, blah, 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 night lights even. We've got Zazzle and Redbubble. Those, there's links on our website for those. You can do a one-time donation on PayPal. You can set up a recurring donation, but as somebody who has a recurring donation on PayPal, it's not the best way to do it. If you want to do a recurring donation, you can do that on Patreon. That's
Much better.
Pateon.
You missed an R.
Yeah.
Patreon.com.
You are right.
And it's patreon.com/thinking sideways, and you pledge a certain amount. It's like a pledge per lap. Each episode is a lap. So you pledge a certain amount per episode, and then you just pay at the end of the month. And that's been really helpful in supporting our show.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
Indeed.
All of that having been said, I think I'm going to go ahead and shaze on out of here.
You go ahead, Steve. I'm still thinking.
Oh, I'm disappeared.
Oh, yeah. Adieu.
Thinking Sideways is not brought to you by Perry Mason, Caturney at Claw. Instead, it's brought to you by our listeners, because you guys are awesome, and we wanted to tell you you're awesome, because we appreciate that you listen to the show. So, on with the show.
Thinking sideways.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Thinking Sideways, the podcast. I am Devin, joined this week by
Joe.
Steve.
And today we're going to talk about a mystery.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
We're going to talk about a mysterious disappearance.
We haven't done one of those in a while.
Actually, we haven't.
No, we haven't actually. I was kidding, but you're right.
I know.
Okay.
I've been on kind of a I don't want to talk about it streak, but I'm ready to talk about it again. It's fine.
All right.
So this week we're going to talk about the disappearance of Lauren Spear, who is it was a 2011 disappearance from Bloomington, Indiana.
We have heard of it. It's kind of in the news a lot.
It has been in the news a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, not just in the super recent news, but it just passed its 5-year anniversary, so it always gets the refresh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
when you hit those kind of anniversaries.
Let's just dive right in. shall we?
Sweet.
Great. Do you guys have more like banter or anything?
No.
Fluff out the beginning of this episode with?
So I was on the internet the other day, and I found this thing. No,
Were you?
kidding. No, I never go on the internet.
I
You
know.
know that.
I do.
Just Wikipedia.
Okay, so Lauren was an only child who grew up in an upper middle class family in New York. She was 4'11", which
4'11"?
Yeah, 4'11" inches, which I didn't bother to translate into.
It's about 3 kilometers. Yeah.
It's like 5 stone. It's-
Yeah. Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
and she
Big
weighed
3 hands.
She weighed just 90 pounds, and she was 20 years old when she disappeared.
So she's a very petite girl.
Very, very petite. Yeah. She was a sophomore at Indiana State University in Bloomington, Indiana, the bad Bloomington.
The bad Bloomington? I didn't know
I
they
went
were
to school
bad.
in Bloomington, Illinois.
Oh,
so,
you-
there's
oh,
a bit of a
gotcha.
rivalry there.
Ah.
Because there's a Bloomington Normal, Indiana, and a Bloomington Normal, Illinois. Because nobody in the Midwest knows how to creatively name places.
Oh,
They're both like twin cities.
Sweet.
And I went to school in Bloomington, Illinois. Anyways,
Okay.
she was studying textile merchandising, which I know I've seen she was planning on going into fashion with, but my understanding from research of that degree is that's not maybe the best degree
I was very confused when I saw this
to
in the
do
notes.
that with. I mean, it's more. It's my understanding. This is totally doesn't matter to the case at all. But my understanding of that is that it's more geared towards like interior design or textile development, not fashion.
Fashion,
But
okay.
hey, whatever. Maybe she wanted to design.
Clothes are made out of textiles. You never know.
Maybe she just had the wrong idea. The school didn't want to steer her clear of that because they were making money.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
true.
could have been.
By all accounts, Lauren was a really great person, and though some do suspect foul play, nobody suspects foul play in the because she had a bunch of enemies that were out to get her type of thing,
Seems unlikely.
or a grudge, or really premeditated in any way.
So it's kind of a crime of opportunity.
More
I
of a
think,
crime of
maybe.
opportunity if there is indeed foul play involved. I guess let's just jump right in and talk about timeline.
We've got a pretty decent timeline in this one, which is
Pretty
nice compared to a lot of stories.
sizable timeline, yeah.
Yeah, she
and
was
there's
spotted
not,
on a lot of cameras. That helps.
She was, but there's not, it's not like a leading up incidents. What's the phrase? It's events leading to the event. or
Leading up to.
leading to the event. That we don't really have that. It's she was a normal
College student.
college student. She was very involved in extracurricular activities.
Happened.
Yeah.
This was a Thursday night, right?
It was a Thursday night, June 3rd, 2011.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Well, I guess it was June 4th, 2011.
I guess,
Was
yeah.
it June 3rd, 2011? Because our timeline starts
I thought.
at
I think
midnight 30.
Yeah, I think it started Thursday night. Thursday was the second. Not that it's that big of a deal, but that Friday was the third.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. Sorry.
So 12:30 a.m.
It's been
on
Long
Friday.
day. Yeah. Okay. So 12:30 a.m. Friday morning. So
The wee hours.
the wee hours. And, researching this story reminded me of how I'm actually an adult now, because I read that and I was like, that has to be a typo, and read 3 other places and I was like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, I know.
That's real. So
I know.
Lauren left her apartment to go pregame at 12:30 a.m., midnight 30 a.m. on Friday, June 3rd, 2011. She left her apartment at Smallwood Plaza, and she left with her friend, David Rohn. They met up with a friend, with a bunch of friends at Jay Rosenbaum's townhouse at the 5 North Townhomes.
Which
One of the-
was a couple of blocks away.
It was just, it was pretty close.
Really a
It's-
bunch of apartments.
It's all, everything kind of in Bloomington, Indiana is pretty close to each other. It's all pretty walking distance. One of the people that was there was a guy by the name of Corey Rossman and his roommate, whose name is Mike Beth. They both lived 2 doors down. Her boyfriend, Jesse, did not go out that night. He says they were texting all night until he went to bed. I don't have any information as to what time he went to bed.
I heard about
He-
2:30 a.m.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, he said he stayed up and watched the basketball game. I think it was the Heat were in the championships for some reason. And he stayed up with his friends. Game was over. They
he went
continued to
right
drink
to
at the apartment, and then he went to bed.
Right. But
Allegedly.
it's probably worth saying that nobody has any reason to doubt this.
Yeah.
And I think that cell towers corroborated. Not that Bloomington is so large that a cell tower pinging in one place or another, but worth mentioning. And so what everybody was doing, the group that Lauren was with, was they were doing this pre-gaming thing, which I have heard.
Pre-funk is what we used to call it.
Oh yeah,
you
we
drink
always
a
call
lot.
it pre-gaming. But I've always heard this described as a weekly ritual, or more than frequently than weekly. But that it was the same group of people would get together for the same thing on the same night, pretty much all the time. Thirsty Thursdays is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I was in college, I think we only had 2 nights a week that didn't have designated drinking themes.
Yeah. This sounds very familiar. For me, I swear it was Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, something like that.
Oh, we had
It was every night of the week.
we had beer club Tuesday, and wine women Wednesday, and then Thirsty Thursdays, and then Fridays always had a different theme, and Saturdays had a different theme. So it was Sunday and Monday nights were our only nights off.
Got it.
And we came up with reasons to drink those nights anyways.
Joe and I used to go out for Anything Can Happen Mondays.
Oh, that's
Those
right. I
were
remember
fun.
that was
Yeah.
actually a good time.
That
Yeah.
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So there was definitely drinking and allegedly drugs, ostensibly drugs,
I hope so.
happening there as well. And again, worth reminding people, Lauren at this time is only 20 years old. And if you don't already know, the legal drinking age in America is 21. So
Well,
she was
not everywhere. It's 18 in some places. Isn't it?
There are a few places
Yeah.
left.
Not in Bloomington,
But drugs
Indiana.
are not.
not legal.
No ID shit, no ID needed. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just worth mentioning.
Okay, so,
So
anyway,
they
there.
pregame at Jay's townhouse until about 1:46 a.m., which is when Corey and Lauren walk over to Kilroy's Sports Bar, which was a local sports bar that apparently wasn't really great at IDing that
Kilroy's-
late at night.
Kilroy's is huge.
It looked huge.
Yeah,
That
it's a big
bar
place.
is freaking gigantic.
Yeah, it looked really big, and it looked like, again, the kind of like college place. I think I don't know what Indiana's law. Actually, we were just in Indiana. I don't know that I even looked up when their like beer o'clock is. So we used to call it beer o'clock whenever they stopped serving